Hi honors students, Dean Corvino here with our weekly video message, and I'm joined by Dr. Erfan Saidi Moqadam, who is our new pre-faculty fellow in honors, one of two new pre-faculty fellows in honors. Welcome, Erfan.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So you came after completing a PhD in anthropology at the University of Kentucky. Tell us a little bit about your work.
I did my research in rural South because the majority of research on Iranian population has been focused on metro area, metropolitan area, Southern California, Texas, New York, or DC. But in this area, specific area, rural Kentucky, I found that there is a connection between the religion of Islam and how these people use this discursivity of Quranic interpretation to find a way to reconcile their Muslim identity to predominantly Christian society of the United States, and therefore they make not just a united, homogeneous community, but also a community based on all of these differences, difference on understanding, heterogeneities, and disagreement.
So you did that focusing mainly on the American South. Now you're in Metro Detroit. How is Metro Detroit an interesting subject area for you?
As I working on my dissertation, I figured that's an Iranian way, something that I missed during my fieldwork, but I became interested later on how these minoritized and ethnic groups perceive these categories of identity in the U.S. by referring to their own ethnohistorical and communal understanding in the U.S. context, which is a new context. So they understand racial category of U.S., but the way that they perform it based on their own cultural understanding, it creates a new meanings.
Mm-hmm. And
Detroit? What's in Detroit? Detroit has metro areas that many communities, Middle Eastern, but it's not focused on just Iranian communities. So I'm interested to find a ways how all of these migrants and minoritized community, racially and ethnically minoritized community, perceive this categories, race, religion, ethnicity, based on their own background, ethno-historical background in the city of Detroit.
It's very interesting. And I think for a lot of our students who maybe haven't taken an anthropology course before, or a lot of us who don't maybe know a lot about anthropology, this whole subject of anthropology is mysterious and maybe a little bit overwhelming. What can you tell our students, what kind of tip can you give them to sort of help them get their foot in the door, to get their feet wet on anthropology?
So as anthropologists, we are very proud of the technique that we use, a method that we use, ethnography, called ethnography, and basically is participant observation, and interview. I always use in my classes when we have different topics, religion, race, gender, I ask them to do something in real world. I ask them to go to gym, observe gender roles there. If they're major, like from other disciplines, use these methods like interviews, participant observation, focus on those methods, which is very helpful to them, and they were always happy, not just anthropological concepts, but use this anthropological method, qualitative method, for their own work or their own disciplines.
Which is especially interesting if you like people watching, which many of us do, and especially in a big city like Detroit. Well, students, I hope you get a chance to meet Dr. Saidi sometime. If you're interested in anthropology, if you want to learn more about his work or about anthropology more generally, you can reach out by email. You can, as always, add your comments to the comment section. Hope to see you soon.